Everyone, and thank you for attending this presentation with Poseidon Expeditions. If you haven't been with us before, I'm Regina Cross, and I direct the alumni travel program, Spartan Pathways. So before we get started, if you could all keep yourself muted during the presentation, that helps. So just a little bit, we'll pick up on the microphones. So if you have questions during the presentation, please enter those in the chat, and then we'll address those once Jennifer has finished. This session is being recorded, so once I've finalized it and edited it, I will send it out to everyone. Okay, on to our featured speaker. Today we have Jennifer Knath. She's the Director of Sales of Poseidon Expeditions. Poseidon Expeditions was founded in the United Kingdom in 1999 and is a leading provider of polar expeditions in the cruise industry. They offer cruises to Antarctica and to Arctic destinations of Greenland, Iceland, and the North Pole. Their goal is to provide curious travelers with the perfect combination of comfort and personable service, balanced with opportunities for outdoor activities. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this presentation. Thank you, Regina, for allowing us the opportunity to not only work with your alumni association, but to work with you. I've known Regina for quite a long time, about 20 years, I think. We've worked together on several different destinations over the course of those 20 years, from Africa to the Arctic to Antarctica. So to get started, Michigan State is going to be sponsoring the Alumni Association is sponsoring an Antarctic program with us, which is going to depart this year on November the 12th. It's an 11-day program, returning on the 22nd. This is just kind of an intro screen here to some of the sites that you would be expected to see. It's just an incredible landscape, Antarctica. This is the Antarctic Peninsula. So you're actually going to be I guess you could go to the next screen, Regina, and I'll go from there. Okay. Kind of in a nutshell, though, I'll kind of let you know, you fly from the U.S., from your hometown, down to Buenos Aires, and then from there you catch another plane to Ushuaia, which is at the end of Argentina. And that's where you'll be met by our company, Poseidon Expeditions. We'll transfer you to the hotel, and you'll overnight there. And then the next morning you embark our ship, which is right there in port in Ushuaia. So everything is handled from the time you land in Ushuaia to the time you get back to Ushuaia. These are just some interesting Antarctic facts or Antarctic facts. I don't know if anybody has been to Antarctica before or not, but it's kind of one of the most remote places on Earth. And you can kind of, if you want to read through this, I don't really have to read through it, but you can kind of read it at your leisure. But the neat thing about Antarctica is, because of its remoteness, there are no people that actually live there on a permanent basis. There are a few scientists that are there. There's a post office there, so you can actually mail something and it will come back to you several months later. And of course, the wildlife viewing is extraordinary, and in addition to the landscapes. Okay. This is this is our Antarctica video in a minute. I don't know, Regina, are you able to start it?
Yeah, I don't see a spot to start it, I'm afraid.
Okay.
It didn't come through. Oh, no, I'm not seeing that.
YouTube video. Did it not work?
Yeah, it's not working.
So if you hit enter, it doesn't work?
No.
Okay. Well, that video it's just a 1 minute kind of a summary of what you do on our program in Antarctica. And that can be found on the Michigan State Alumni Travel website. We have a landing page on that website that gives you an overview of the actual trip, that, you know, the itinerary. It'll have the video. It'll have a video of our ship and more information on the cabins. So if you are interested, you could go to their website, their travel website, and look up Antarctica, the Antarctica trip, and it would be there. Okay. Just again, some more highlights of Antarctica, what you expect to see. In this photograph here, you'll kind of get an idea of what our ship looks like. We pride ourselves on having a small ship. We call it a small ship, big advantage. And there's many reasons for that. It holds 114 travelers. We're able to get in and out of some of the locations that larger cruise ships are not able to get into. So some of our explorations are just second to none because of where we can maneuver our ship. You'll see some kayaks in that photograph. That's an optional excursion. So you would sign up for that before, you know, at the time of booking. And there's only a limited number of kayaks available, so 16 spots. And then you're able to get out and do some kayaking among the icebergs. And you'll have like a kayak instructor who's a professional will help you navigate all of that. Here it talks about the penguins and some of the species. There's actually, it says 5 species can be found in Antarctica. It's really more like 7. But they focus on the 5 that you're more apt to see. The ones that you will see for sure on this actual expedition would be the gentoo penguin, the chinstrap penguin, and the belly penguin. The larger penguin, like the emperor penguin, that's going to be found further south in the Weddell Sea, and not a lot of ships can go down into that area due to the ice. If you are ever open to a longer trip in Antarctica, we do have a 23-day trip that we can also, you know, basically sponsor a little bit with Michigan State, and that will give you the Falklands in South Georgia, where you can pick up, of course, the king penguin, the largest penguin. Okay. Here's kind of a typical day in Antarctica, kind of what we do on a daily basis. It's pretty active. I mean, we have morning and afternoon excursions. We're coming back to the ship for lunch. Our ship is it acts like the hotel. So you're on the ship primarily for all your meals and for sleeping. And then during the day, you're out in these zodiacs, as you can see at the bottom. That's how you get from the ship to shore. And so you're able to we do about, on average, 2 to 3 landings a day. And that is primarily because we have 114 people on our ship. By law in Antarctica, you're only allowed to have 100 people ashore at a time. So we have 100 people ashore, and then the other 14 people are in kayaks. So everybody gets to go to shore together as a group. You don't have to wait. You know, we don't have group A, B, C, D, E, or F, which a lot of these larger ships will have. Sometimes you don't even get to go ashore because time runs out. So you get to go ashore every morning and every afternoon, no matter what. Obviously weather dependent. But this gives you kind of a rundown of what to expect during a typical day in Antarctica. And as you can see, we come back to the ship to have our dinner, and then we'll have a recap, kind of a lecture. There are lectures that are occurring every single day. And one thing I forgot to mention on the getting to Antarctica, once you board the ship in Ushuaia, you're going to cross the Drake Passage. I don't know if anybody has heard of the Drake Passage before, but it's a 2-day journey. And it's really, a lot of people sometimes they get a little anxious about it because it can be a little rough. We call it the Drake Lake or the Drake Shake. So depending on which one you get will determine kind of what experience you have. But during that time, we're doing lectures, basically throughout the day. You're having wonderful food, and we do have a 24-hour infirmary with a doctor on board all the time. So if anybody has any issues with sickness or anything like that, we have that infirmary available. But we do have seasickness medication available all the time. But most people, it's once you get through the Drake Passage, they're really excited you can see land. I mean, you can see the peninsula of Antarctica, and that's kind of it's almost like being an explorer where you're going there and you finally see land after 2 days. But
During the Drake passage, you'll also have opportunities for birding, really good birding actually, and also some whale watching. So there's always something to be done in those 2 days. Okay.
Okay, this is our kind of our map, our route. So as you can see, you land in Ushuaia in Argentina, the southernmost tip of Argentina, and board our ship, and then you go through the Drake Passage, the Southern Ocean for 2 days, and then finally
Arriving on the actual peninsula. And so you sort of do a circle, and those little arrows that you see are places that we actually stop and go into some of these harder to get fjords and locations that a lot of the larger ships are unable to go into. And so then we get off the ship every day, of course, and then go ashore. When we're on shore, we're usually on shore for a couple of hours at a time. And some people ask, what about bathroom breaks and things like that? That's never a problem. There's always a Zodiac going back to the ship for anybody who needs to go back to the ship. So the Zodiacs are running back and forth at any time for anyone who needs to get back to the ship. The excursions we do on shore with our naturalists, we have a crew, what we call expedition staff. Each staff person, there's about 15 usually on each departure, and they are experts normally in their field, whether that's in, it could be basically birding or ornithology, it could be volcanic, geologists, naturalists, there's penguin experts, whales, seals, you name it, we have the expert. And we also have a shipboard photographer on board. He will do photography workshops. All of this is included in your actual cruise program. So it's not like you're getting a cruise where you're paying for optional excursions. The only excursions that would be an additional cost would be your kayaking excursion and then camping. We actually do camp overnight in Antarctica. I might have a picture of that on here, but that's a really neat experience. We get to sleep out under the stars in Antarctica for 24 hours. And that is an optional excursion. Okay. Here is a kind of a rundown of some of our suites. The Sea Spirit has, every cabin is a suite, so they're quite large. So you have pretty much 2 separate areas or 2 separate parts to the room. You have your area where you have your bed, or you can have a queen or king or 2 twins, and then you have a separate area that has like a sofa, a television, kind of a sitting area, and it's divided by a curtain. So if you wanted privacy, or if you had a family in that cabin, it could be separated out. So this will give you a good idea of what our cabins look like actually. Very large. Everything is handled or based on US power. So you have a power strip where you can plug in your devices, whether that's charging your phones or your camera equipment or blow dryer, flat iron, whatever you want to bring, you're able to bring it. And we have very large bathrooms as well with full-size showers. So it's a very spacious cabin. Here are the optional activities, the kayaking, of course, and the camping. So you can see, give you a little idea of what to expect on the camping. We do have an expedition staff that is out there with you. They help you dig your little hole, and then we have all weatherproof sleeping bags. We call them bitty bags that you sleep in. Nobody really sleeps much on this excursion. We have bathroom facilities that we bring with us. Everything is done environmentally safe and sound. So it's just a neat experience. And those really fill up fast. So we have 30 people who can camp and then 16 people who kayak. So when people sign up for this trip, they try to book that immediately because it does sell out. And then of course our photography option is free. We have a photographer that's always available to you to answer any questions that you might have about photographing. Sometimes it's a little complicated because it's so white and snowy, and people have difficulty in photographing that. Which also brings me to mention this trip is November 12th, so it's one of the first trips to the start of the season, which is a really neat thing because everything is basically spring has started in Antarctica, but everything is still snowy The landscapes are incredible. So the photography options are just unbelievable. The chicks are starting, or the penguins are actually starting to nest. There's lots of good whale watching, so it's just an exciting time. I would say November, December are just prime times to be there. There's really not a bad time to be there, but it's just a neat experience, and the weather can be anywhere from a little bit below freezing to 40 degrees. So on average, let's say it's about 20 degrees. I think most of you are probably in Michigan, so you might be used to that cold weather. But we do provide a parka for you that you get to keep. It's very, very warm, and you're fitted for that parka when you get on the ship. And so you get to take that, home with you. And then we also provide muck boots for the entire time you're there. And then you just leave those on board. So they're brand new muck boots. They're warm. They have Thinsulate in them, and we give you lots of information on how to dress. It's really an easy trip to dress for. A lot of people feel like it's a very difficult one, but you just take layers, wool things, polo sleeves, and then you've got your outer gear that we provide, and toboggan and gloves, and you're set to go. These are the things that we include on all of our Antarctic expeditions. So as you can see, you'll get the overnight in Ushuaia, Argentina. And then all of the transfers are included, of course. All of the accommodations, all the landings, excursions, Wi-Fi is included all the time. It can be intermittent once you actually get to the peninsula. It can be spotty, just depending on the location. However, we do have satellite radio, satellite internet for any sort of emergency situations, of course. So we're always in constant contact with Ushuaia and also with our office here in the U.S. We include all the port fees. You get lots of good pre-departure information. You also get a cabin book in your cabin on Antarctica that will include bird and mammal lists, journaling pages, and you'll, at the end of the trip, you'll get a what we call a digital log, which is like a USB. I think I have a picture, or I have one here. It's in the shape of the sea spirit. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a little USB, and so it's like this. So all of the pictures or the videos, all the lectures, everything that was taken by our ship photographer will be on this memory stick. So if you don't want to bring your camera and you don't take photographs, you'll have this to take home with you. So everybody gets that when you leave the ship at the end of the actual expedition. Okay. Not included. Okay, so we don't include international airfare, but we do have an international air desk that can help you arrange all of those flights from your hometown. We don't include the insurance, but I know Michigan State offers that. And you do have to have evacuation insurance of $200,000 per person for obvious reasons. And anything like laundry or any sort of telephone charges, tipping for our crew and our expedition team, which is on average about $22 a day. Everything can be handled on the ship with your onboard account with a credit card. And then when you just finalize your bill before departure. Here are some of the wildlife that you'll actually see. These are some of the, I would say, the highlights. That is a leopard seal in the top left-hand corner. And in the bottom two, obviously, are penguins. To the right is the chinstrap penguin. And to the left is the jelly penguin. I'm sorry, the Gentoo penguin, and then at the top you have a humpback whale there, and then our zodiac. You can see what our zodiac looks like. So here's a good shot of our ship, the Sea Spirit. So how do you sign up and make a reservation? The easiest way to do that is you can go, of course, to Michigan State's website and look at our landing page, and then you'll have all of this information there as well. And like Regina was saying, she's going to give you a copy of this recording. But the easiest way to do it is to contact our office here in the U.S. We're located in Providence, Rhode Island. So it's very simple to call our office, and you'll get our reservation staff, and they can let you know what cabins are still available. We'll actually let you hold a cabin, usually up to 10 days without any deposit. So we'll give you some time to think about it. And it's not something we advertise, but we do actually do that. So if you call and you want to hold it for a week, that's normally not a problem. And then my contact information is here. I'm located in Birmingham, Alabama, so I'm south of our office in Providence. It's a 20% deposit. That's basically made out by credit card or check or wire to our office. And then the balance is due 90 days before departure, and you'll receive an invoice along the way with that balance due. These are some, so for Michigan State, we have a great partnership with Michigan State. So we give what we call our early booking discount to them all the way up to the time of travel. So that early booking discount never expires. Where it does expire for our direct travelers, it expires usually 3 months before it's posted on our website. So right now there is no early booking discount available for our direct travelers. So you automatically get that, which is anywhere from 15 to 20% off of our rack rate, or what we call our direct market rate. So these costs here are the different costs for including that discount for Michigan State travelers. As of this morning, we've just come up with a Valentine's special that we're offering only between February 8th and February 28th, where it's a 25% discount per person, or buy one and get one at 50% off, however you want to look at it. So what that means is it's not 25% over and above these rates, it's 25% over and above what's on our website or what our rack rate is. So it would be like an additional 10 to 5% over and above these rates. I guess that would be the easiest way to put it. So instead of getting 15 or 20% off the rack rate, you'll get 25% off if you book between February 8th and February 28th. And so if you called our office to make a reservation during that time frame, they automatically give you that discount. Kind of to let you know kind of where we fit in as far as our competition. One thing about Antarctica is everybody that travels there, we're very friendly competitors. We all work together to make sure that the environment basically is our main priority in Antarctica. So everybody's governed by an organization called IATO, which is International Association of Antarctic Tour Operators. So everybody, I would say the majority of everybody, is a member of this association. So we all help each other out. We all have to bid on landing sites at the beginning of the season. So what that means is there's so many landing sites in Antarctica. So in order to make sure that tourism does not have a negative effect, it's very structured on how many people visit each landing site during the season. And so that's basically to prevent anything from being overvisited or overpopulated. So it's very well done. So the site expeditions is, because of our ship size, and because of our rates, we probably fit, I would say, somewhere in the middle. Well, we're not like the least expensive company, but we're not the highest expensive company either. We are the actual ship operator and the tour operator. So that's an advantage because there's no middle person in between us. So you're not having to go to a tour operator to get on our ship. So we actually own the ship, and we actually make the reservations for the ship as well. So that is a good thing on pricing. So you'll notice some of our pricing is, if you compare it to some of our competition, it's usually really good. Really, really good. Okay. This is the landing page that we have for Michigan State on their travel website. So if you go to that landing page, it's got a lot of information. It's got cabins, a lot of pictures on cabins, deck plans. Of course, the pricing would be there, the video in Antarctica, and also the, I think there's a video on the Sea Spear. Maybe just quick, like a minute or 2 minutes. I see the cat. I have a cat actually sitting to the right of my desk here, asleep. Thank goodness it's asleep at this point, because it normally does walk across the screen. So that's so that there is the link to the actual landing page. Okay. And that's it. So I think we have some questions, maybe.
Someone had asked what the dates are, so I did include that in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay. So November 12th through the 22nd, I think. Is it the 22nd?
Yeah.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yes. Yeah. Does anyone else have questions at all?
We've got 4. It looks like 4.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. What is the average temperature?
In November, since it's the start of the season, it's their spring, so it's coming off their extreme winter. Obviously, it's going to be one of the cooler months, meaning the season runs from November to end of February. So November is going to be on average, I would say, around 25 degrees. It can go lower. It can go to 40 degrees. It can snow. The sun can be out, and you can take off your parka because you're sweating. It's the craziest weather. I mean, it can be anything from 10 below 0 to 40 degrees. Is there another one?
All right. It says, do you ever experience winter storms that impact excursions?
I mean, that can occur. Obviously, everything is based on weather pattern. So it's typically not something that happens, but it can happen. For example, we're in the middle of our season right now. And so we had, I think it was our late December departure. It was our New Year's expedition cruise. We had a day where we had some weather coming in. So what we normally do is everybody knows, obviously they look at the weather very seriously. So all the captains of all the ships, and by the way, you really rarely see another ship. I mean, we have it, the IATA organization, we plan it to where you rarely see another ship, but there's always a ship available that you just can't see in case of any emergency. So we have what we call sister ships that travel around with us, but you just can't see them. So if anybody needs to get off a ship or be evacuated for any reason, which that's never happened to us, but there's always something there. And some of these ships have helicopters. So, I mean, there's always that fallback. But as far as the weather goes, there could be a day where something is canceled due to a weather pattern, especially with zodiacs. Being zodiac if there's any weather problem. So we would not go on that excursion, or we would do something different that day.
All right, anyone else have questions? So Jennifer, you said you're available should people have questions, correct?
Yes. Here's another one. If you select the kayak, do you get to use it every day or only one day? Every day. Once you sign up for the kayak, you're on it all day, every day. Of course, you don't have to. I mean, you can lay back and do a short excursion. But once you sign up for the kayaking, then you have that kayak the entire time.
Wonderful. All right. Okay. So with no other questions, Jennifer, you said you are available.
Yes, let me give you my, okay, so if you need to email me for any reason, just a question, or you can email me. You can even call my cell phone anytime. I'm always available. So my email is jknath, and I'll spell it. It's JKUNATH at PoseidonExpeditions.com, which, as you can see, is right here. So jknath at PoseidonExpeditions.com. And my cell phone is 205-706-0306. And you can also text me on that as well.
All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. Okay, and Poseidon Expeditions has graciously given us 2 dry bags. They're called dry bags that you can use when you go on trips to keep your items dry. And so we're going to start our door prize drawing now. So Let me stop sharing the screen there. Okay, so I'm gonna begin. For the first bag, we have Lionel Rice. All right, Lionel, I'll send that out to you. Jennifer, will should I just get the bags from you and send them, or will you just send them directly?
Whatever you want to do. If you want to give me their address, I can just send it from here.
Okay. All right, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, and for the next bid. Rush Kashyap. Hi, congratulations. Okay, we have some other items here as well, some Michigan State items now. So start out with the Michigan State cap. And in here. Whoops. Janet Leonard. Janet? you
Hi,
there?
Rebecca.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
All right. I'll send that to you. And next we have a leather wallet. It's got a Michigan State helmet on it. It's a nice thing, passport wallet, I should say. All right. And this goes to Barb Goldberg. Barb? I'll send that to you. All right, and next we have a Michigan State t-shirt. Michigan State t-shirt. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Green t-shirt. And that goes to Janice. Janice Conway, are you still there, Janice?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, what size do you need?
Probably an XL.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I have another Michigan State cap. And this goes to Rick Swickey. Hi, Rick. I'll send that to you. All right, and then finally we have a Michigan State pennant you can hang on your wall. And goes to Michael Suzanne. Michael, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's it for our presentation and door prize drawing. I want to thank Jennifer again for participating in this for us and all of you for attending. We do have next week, our next session is going to be with Gohagan and Company. And we've worked with Gohagan for a number of years now. That'll be on Wednesday, the 25th at 2 p.m. And then we're going to take a break for a few weeks. And our next session will be on February 15th with Safari Legacy, which will also be with Jennifer. She works for both companies. So, and we offer Kenya and Tanzania tours with them. So we're looking forward to that. So if you've registered, I will be sending the link out the day before. And if you're interested in any of our other tours, upcoming tours, you can visit alumni.msu.edu/travel. So thank you again for attending and go green.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay.